1 2 1 2. Hey guys, hopefully we'll get one or two people taking part today. Wednesday, Midweek Mobility. We'll just give it a minute or so, see if there's anybody interested in working on their flexibility for half an hour. I'm going to keep today really basic, alright guys? So we're going to do... Thanks for that, Liam. Top man. Can always rely on you for feedback there. Emma giving me a thumbs up as well. Davidsons are here. Fiona's here. Gee whiz, guys, this is too much. Olivia's here. There's too many folk here for a Wednesday. This is not going to work. I'm only joking. That's awesome, guys. Brilliant. And if anyone is watching this later on and taking part at night or tomorrow, please just give us a heads up and let us know that you're here. I have an injured knee. Can we do some upper body stuff one day? Yeah, well, what I try and do is I mostly focus around the hips and the legs, being it's sort of a key tight area for the majority of us. But I always try and put in a little bit of upper body. In today, we've got 10 stretches, guys, and it's a mix of upper and lower. Generally, we'll keep these classes a little bit more on the lower side, but we do try and cover like thoracic spine, shoulders, that sort of stuff as well. The format for today is really, really simple. We do 10 different stretches, 10 different movements in the session. You guys work at the same speed as me. I don't time it, I just sort of go with feel, and it's a mixture of sort of static and dynamic movements, okay? And then hopefully just after doing these 10 exercises, you feel energized, re-energized, you feel your mobility is improved a little bit, and generally you feel you go back to your work or whatever, and you just feel a bit more positive as well. So it's not just about flexibility, it's about actually how we feel as well. Right, now before we get into some of these stretches, we're going to stand up and do a mini warm-up, throwing our arms about, hinging at the hip, all that sort of jazz, just to get the blood flow going, loosen off the joints. I'll probably come out of screen a little bit because I've got it set up facing down at the floor, but don't worry about that. If my head's not on the screen, don't worry. I'll keep talking to you and we'll just keep everything flowing, all right? So 2 or 3 minutes, guys, just to loosen off, because I am a little bit stiff, to be honest with you, today, and I don't fancy going into that first stretch totally cold. So big arm circles. Like I said, don't worry if I am not on the screen. I will be in the screen when we're doing the workout. So we're going to do big arm circles nice and fast forwards, and then big arm circles nice and fast backwards. So we're going backwards as well, reaching up nice and high and loosening off the shoulders. Then we'll come across the body, driving the chest forward. So we're really opening up the chest, little diagonals as well. Hopefully you can see that. I'll crouch down. Diagonals as well. And then from there we're going to rotate. Okay, so we're getting a little bend at our knees and we're rotating across the body. And just starting to move a little bit through the upper body. If you guys have been sitting down all morning, this will at least waken us up a wee bit. Then from there, we're going to go side to side and we're going to scoop down past the knee and really stretch up into the armpit. Moving side to side. Okay? And just scraping down past the knee, getting into our lower back with some basic movements. From there, we're going to do a little hip circle. Nice big circle. Exaggerate it. And then change direction the other way. So it's good to see a few taking part today. And it's good to see that the Zooms at night have been pretty well attended as well, which is really, really good. Now from there, we'll do a little hip hinge. Hands across the chest, little bend at knee. And we're getting the hips moving. So sort of nice, easy stretch into the hamstrings. Keeping that chest up. A lot of the stuff is going to be on the floor today, or most of it. It's good. Then from there, we're going to squat down, just touch the floor. reach overhead. It's good. And just letting those knees come forward, feet flat on the floor. Couple more. Last one. Since we're up on the feet, we'll just do a little hip opener. Bring the knee up and across. When I do this one, I do a little side step as well. Just a nice little rhythm to get into, good coordination. It's good. We're going to touch the toes, reach for the ceiling. Touch the toes, reach for the ceiling. When you're touching the toes, a bit like the hip hinge, press your hips away, press your hips back, rather than curling your spine. We're still thinking about stretching out the hamstrings and calves mainly. One more. And rest. Okay, good. Right guys, we're going to come down onto the floor. That hopefully just blew away the cobwebs and loosened you off a little bit. Right, first stretch. We've done this a few times in recent weeks. I call it a 90-90 position, okay? So you've got a 90-degree angle at your front leg and a 90-degree angle at your back leg, okay? So if you could get into that position for me, ideally don't have the foot tucked in like this. 90 degrees and 90 degrees, okay? Then from there, you're going to get as tall as you possibly can. You're probably falling out to the side a little bit. Keep that knee on the floor. Keep this knee on the floor. So this is internally rotated at the hip, externally rotated. So both knees have to stay in contact with the ground and you'll feel a bit of a stretch by doing that. Now keep your chest up. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to take our chest down over our knee. And that just creates a stretch across your glute and lower back. And then we come back up to the top. Then we're going to change the angle and take it over the ankle. And you might probably find you don't get as far, and it stretches a similar area, maybe just slightly different, and then come back again. So we want to work that with our breathing. So big deep breath in. As we breathe out, we go down over the knee. And we hold. Then we come back, breathe in. And as we breathe out, we go down over the ankle. And we're going to repeat that maybe for about 4 or 5 reps. So big deep breath in. Breathing out. Remembering keeping both knees on the floor. And then across the ankle. And again. So it's kind of like a subtle stretch, not quite like the pigeon. Some people find it a little bit easier to get into than the pigeon. I quite like it. It really stretches a different part of your butt, shall we say, and also gets into your lower back as well. I'm starting to get a little bit deeper. We'll do one more. So breathing out, down over your knee. Nice and tall, breathe out, down over your ankle. And then we just change. So we swing round to the other side. So 90 degrees on the front leg, 90 degrees on the back leg. Both knees down, trying to keep yourself a bit balanced in the middle, not totally falling to the side. Okay? Big deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're down over that knee. And we come back, big deep breath in. And breathe out over the ankle. Big deep breath in. And down. And again. Remember, and breathe out as you're going into the stretch. I'll do one more. Last one to the ankle. relax. Good. Now we're going to progress that to the pigeon. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of options. So we get into that position from the press up position. We slide our knee through to the front in between our hands. Now Liam, you'll probably, if you've got a sore knee, just keep your foot all the way back, tucked in like that. So there's not a lot of stress here. For those that are a bit more flexible, see if you can get your shin in a straight line at the front, okay? And once you're in that position, it's really important that you push your back foot away, okay? You don't grip the floor with your toe. So relax that foot, push the back foot away, keep the knee on the floor, get that back foot as far away as you can, then you're going to get your hip really low into the floor, okay? And that's where you're going to get your best stretch in the pigeon. Now I'm quite a little bit tight, so my foot's wanting to slide back, so I'm going to let it slide back a little bit, rather than forcing it up into an awkward position. Now from there, just going to keep my foot in place with my hand. My other hand is in line with my hand as well, and I'm going to keep really tall. I'll take a big deep breath in, and as I breathe out, I'm going to lean forward from my hip, not from the center of my back. So I'm not just crunching or curling up like that. I'm trying to keep really long. All right, so it's a big deep breath in, tall, and as we breathe out, we're leaning forward, and you'll feel a real deep stretch through the glute. I'm going to hold that for 3 breaths. Breathe in. As you breathe out, try and go a little bit further. That's 2. We'll just hold that there and then relax. Good. Take that leg away, bring the other one through. Okay? You might find that you're tighter on one side, so you might not have the same angle as that you had on that other side. Remember to relax your back foot, push it away, and then get your posture. Okay? Big deep breath in and breathe out. Leaning forward, try to keep your spine as long as possible. Last one, hold it. And repeat again. So you're going to take that foot out and bring the other leg back through. Now you'll feel that you can get a bit further on this second set. So big deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're leaning forward. So I'm going to try to show you that angle. I'm not curling up my back. And with each out breath, I'm just going that a little bit further and that a little bit lower. Hold that bottom one. And then change. Good. Bring it through again. Nice and tall. Really pushing hips and feet away, head and shoulders forward. About 3 or 4 breaths just to maneuver your way down to that bottom position. And relax. Good job. Right. Come out the pigeon and let's get our feet nice and wide. Okay. And get comfortable with that. This is maybe a little bit more intense of a stretch, but I will give a couple of options. All right. So we're going to work down through our adductors, our hamstrings, our lats and our back, okay? So first of all, try and see if you can take your hands away from behind you and you can just hold that position there. Now, if you're a bit like me, you're probably wanting to fall forward and curl up. That's kind of natural and normal, so don't worry about that. But try and sit up as tall as you can. And you'll feel a stretch through your groin, your adductors, okay? Now, this might be as far as you'll get with this stretch. You can hold that position, okay? If you can we get our left hand to our left foot, like this? So that's sort of level 2. So level 1, just hold in there. with our hands off. If you need your hands to be behind you, that's fine. Just use your hands to help you get the posture. This would be a little bit more challenging. This would be a bit more challenging still. And then this would be taking it a level up. Try and get that top hand over and reaching for your foot. Okay? Then we would repeat another side. So pick one of those levels, okay? And we're going to try and hold this stretch for about 20 seconds, okay? Breathing your way through it. If you're bringing your hand over the top, you'll probably want to close like this. I want you to stay open as much as you can so you get that stretch through your back. And if it's too intense and you can't keep open, but just keep this hand there. And then this other hand here. Which is probably a better one for me to get going with. 5 seconds. And relax. It's a really good stretch for your back as well as your legs. Nice and tall. Other side. So we'll start with this. With all the stretches, guys, it's so important that you keep good posture, or you know how to maintain good posture as best you can. Okay. So if I let my shoulders and stuff fall forward, I'm taking the stretch away from where I'm trying to work. If I let my knees roll in, I'm taking the stretch away as well. So I've got to keep all these things in good alignment. And then back to the start. So we're going to repeat that. Nice and tall. Back into the middle. The guys, if anyone is staying in the middle, that's fine. Just try and get your feet a bit wider then, all right? Because you'll be getting a good stretch through here and you can really open up. We'll do one more each side. If you feel you can get a little bit wider, then go for it. Last 5. Other side. And I'm trying to reach a little bit further, keeping square. Not letting my left knee fall in. And now, because I'm getting this hand up and I'm getting really low, I'm getting a deep stretch through the bottom of my lats and into my lower back. And relax. Good. Hopefully we all managed that. We're now going to go into an upper body stretch. Okay, so again, I've used this a couple of times in the recent classes. I really like this stretch. It really helps to open up your chest and your shoulders. Okay, so get into a seated position on the floor the same as me. Okay, knees bent. You need to bend your elbows. My fingers are pointing away from me, but the key thing is bending the elbows. So get that elbow bend. All right, that will create this little sort of like crouched position in your chest. You want to come out of that, so you want to drive your chest up as tall as you can until you feel like you're sitting on the sit bones of your bum and you're driving your chest up. That'll probably make you want to straighten your arms. Don't do that. Keep your elbows bent or you won't feel the stretch. Okay, so have a little practice. Fingers behind you pointing away, don't let them turn. Okay, elbows bent, chest up, and then you should be sitting on the bony bits of your bum, holding that position, feeling a nice big stretch across your chest and shoulders. If I can get more of a bend, I'm going to feel it a little bit more. If I straighten my arm, the stretch is going to feel less. So I'm really trying to focus on that and relax. Okay, so that was a practice, and me trying to get across the fact that you really need to focus on keeping the elbows bent, right? So let's go for that. Elbows bent. Big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're driving our chest to the ceiling. Our shoulders will probably sit nicely back, and you'll feel a bit of a stretch across the front of the shoulder as well. And if you've been doing a bit of upper body recently, this is really nice. Or not nice. Let's hold for another 10 seconds. Can we get a little bit more of a bend in the elbow? Push the elbows back a bit more. Drive that chest up. And relax. Good. We'll do that one more time. Okay, so you're feeling it across the front of your shoulders, your chest, and you're creating a really nice big stretch. And if you've been sitting about at your laptop all morning or all week, it's a good stretch to do. Okay, so one more time. Fingertips pointing away. Bend at the elbow. Okay, really important. On the bony bits of the bum. Big deep breath in. Drive that chest up. There's different ways. There's another way you can get more of a stretch is by pushing your bum forward more. But again, watch you don't straighten your arms. Keep your elbows bent and keep your chest driving up to the ceiling. So it's just about finding the best position for you. Probably more intense for the guys that have probably been doing a lot more bench pressing, lifting heavier dumbbells, that sort of thing. Let's hold for 10 seconds. And relax. Good. Well done, guys. I'm just going to hit this screen just so the comments go off. Okay, so from there, we're going to do a nice little stretch for our lower back. So again, we're still focusing on our upper body mainly. We're going to lie flat on our back. We're going to pull our right knee up to our chest and rock it across. Okay? So you've got like a 90-degree angle. Rocked across the body. Okay? Now I want you to bring your hands together. Almost like you're sleeping, guys, right? You're in that sleeping position. Okay? Left leg. I know it looks odd. It doesn't look like this is my left leg to you guys, but it is. So left leg flat, straight out on the floor. Right leg across 90 degrees. I got my right hand overlapping my left. Both arms are straight. And I'm almost like in a position similar to what you were sleeping. Now, you're going to slowly open this right arm all the way across. You'll get to a point where your leg will want to come off the floor. Okay? So I want you to stop at that point, wherever that may be. Some of you guys will go right to the floor, no bother. Some of you will be like me, a bit stiffer. I want you to take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're reaching that bit further. We'll do 3 breaths. One more. And then bring it back to the start. Stay on that side, okay? So again, big deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're opening the door, so to speak, and we're taking our arm to as big an angle as we can get it without taking the knee off. I can get to the floor if I take my knee off the floor, but I don't want to do that. Big deep breath in. And I'm reaching that a little bit further. And I'm feeling stretches through my back. One more breath. and then back to start. So then, as I go further there, my knee is coming off the floor. So the third rep, what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand, place it on our left knee, and that's going to help keep that in position, all right? And we're going to assist ourselves in this stretch now. So big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're rotating across. We'll get a bit further because we're locking our knee down with our hand this time. We've got something to work against. And I almost got to the floor. And then we're going to change sides. So hopefully you can see that, right? So lying flat on our back, going to bring our left knee up this time, rock it across to the right hand side. Right arm flat on the floor, left hand goes on top, and then we work from there. So big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're reaching across. You could even do this one in your bed before you get out of bed. So I thought it was a bit more flexible there, but that's actually not true because my knee was flying off the floor. So big deep breath in. One more breath. And then back to start, and we'll go again. Okay. This for me is actually quite a challenging stretch, so I know some of you guys will find this a bit easier. One more breath, and then back to the start. And then I'm going to lock that knee down this time, get my hand across. And rest there. Good. Oh, we'll come up, just a little bit of a loosener left and right with the knees, just in case your back feels a bit funny coming out of that. Right, from there, we're going to really focus on the hamstrings. Okay, so a nice, like, simple sort of old school stretch, but still, you know, a good one to do if you're going to hold it for any length of time as a static stretch. So we're going to bring our left foot in, tuck it into our groin, okay, and then our right foot is just out in front, okay. So you try to keep this leg nice and straight. Now, can we get nice and tall? Breathe in, and then breathe out and reach forward, okay. Now, depending on your flexibility, you might be able to hold on to your thigh. You might be able to hold on to your calf, just a little bit lower. You might be able to hold on to your heels, or you might be up at your toes, all right? The aim is to try and get your fingertips around your heels and hold there. So you may feel the stretch more in your back. You may feel it in your hamstrings. You may feel it a bit in your calves. You may feel it anywhere along that back line, okay? I'm going to hold here for about 20 seconds, just taking big deep breaths. And then come back to start. I'm going to stay on that leg, but this time we're going to try and go like on a slight diagonal, right? So you may get just to your knee, okay? And there's a little bit, I want you to turn a little bit. You're going to feel again another stretch down your back on the other side. If you can get a little bit deeper to the heel and let that toe point into the center, you're going to maybe feel a bit more through your lower leg, your calf, behind the knee as well. So we may feel this in different places, and we're going to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. The key with this variation is that we're turning, we're rotating a little bit. we'll change. We'll do those 2 stretches on the other side. Okay, so at the start, we're just trying to keep nice and tall. Big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're just reaching forward. How far can we go? And we're holding. Keep your back nice and, keep your leg nice and straight. Don't bend your knee. Your back's going to round out a little bit as you're leaning forward, and you're getting a nice stretch through your back as well. And then come back, and then we're going to go into a little rotation. We're going to go diagonally across. So again, you might just be here, and that's okay. Or you might be here, or you might get all the way down to your foot. And relax. Good, well done guys. We'll give the legs a wee shake there. That's good. We're going to flip it round and now focus on the quadriceps. Okay, big meaty muscles at the front. Okay, and so probably my favourite way to stretch the quads is to lie flat on the stomach, so that you can use the floor for feedback, and you can actually press against the floor. So if we go there and we just place our forehead into our arm, bring our heel up to our bum, and then reach round and grab the foot. Okay, and we're aiming to pull our heel all the way into our butt. You'll get a position maybe there where there isn't much of a stretch on at all, and then the closer you get your heel to your bum, the more you feel the stretch. And if you can add little things in, like basically if you can extend your hips, so either by squeezing that glute or just by thinking about pressing your hip into the floor, you're going to get a really deep stretch through your quad. If you find that too much, Liam, you could just come up and be resting on your knee here, and just working forward is a similar type stretch, but you don't have the angle closing here, so you don't have maybe the same pressure building up through the knee if you've got any issues, and you'll feel it through your hips more. So you can hold here if you find the one on the floor too difficult. Right, so we're going to work that right hand side, guys. Big deep breath in and breathe out. Try and keep your knees close together. Don't create too much of a gap. And really squeeze your hips into the floor, or engage your glute. It's probably the best thing to focus on, is squeeze your bum, and then your hips will drive forward. I'm going to hold a little bit longer. I want you to get to that point where you feel the stretch is a bit uncomfortable, and we're just going to push through it a little bit. And then change sides. Good. Hopefully you're seeing everything as you should. Rest your forehead on your arm. Bring your foot in. If you're doing the easier option, standing up, but on your knees, change legs, and then pull your heel into your bum. So again, you can do this standing up, but you never get the same stretch, because you can't get a straight line between your knee and your hip. Balance is sometimes an issue, and you don't have the feedback of the floor pushing against you when you're squeezing your bum. hold it a wee bit longer. And then we'll change. All right, so we'll do it one more time each side. For those that are super flexible and quite supple in their upper body as well, so you can get both hands round, and then you'll pull it in really, really tight, okay? Otherwise, just use one. I'll give it a go, but it's not particularly easy. Remember, focus on squeezing that glute. See if you can lift your knee off the floor. So you're really extending through the hips. And rest. Other side. I'm fully aware that I've got a mic on and I may be making some odd noises. Try not to swear under my breath because I know that you're going to hear it. And rest. Good. Well done. So hopefully you got a deep stretch from that one. Right, we're going to go into an upper body stretch that focuses on the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the upper back. So we're going to be in all fours, back nice and straight, knees underneath the hips. I'm going to take my left hand off the floor. I'm going to point the palm up to the ceiling, and I'm going to slide it under. Slide it, slide it, slide it, slide it through until my shoulder is underneath the top shoulder. And the other hand, I'm pushing the floor away to keep that angle, almost like rotate against the stretch, and then I'll feel a nice big stretch. Then I'm just going to bring it back. So I'm going to do this a little bit more dynamic, guys. So take your right hand first, reach through. When you get as far as you can, push through the other hand, push through the left hand while looking up at the ceiling. One breath. And change. And you'll feel it across the back of your shoulder, probably. And bring it back. Reach through. Try and turn your head as well and look up at the ceiling. We'll do 4 more. And again, 3 more. And 2. Wee turn of the head. Last one. And rest. Good. Okay. Next is going to be a little stretch for your wrists and forearms. Now, I bet you it's not an area that you've stretched very often, all right? So you're probably thinking, I'm not even tight there, but majority of you will be quite tight there, especially if you're doing a lot of exercise, and gripping dumbbells, pull-ups, holding barbells, that sort of thing. So we're in the right position for it already, but we're going to turn our hands round, place them on the floor, okay, and point the fingertips back towards your knee. That's your first thing, right? You've got to turn your hand round, fingertips back towards your knee. I've got my knee maybe a few inches from my fingertips. Now to create the stretch, I'm going to push my hips back. And that'll open up the forearms and create a nice big stretch. So I'm going to just take this hand off. So you're creating a stretch through the wrist and then up through the forearm, okay? And quite often, sometimes the limiting factor for press-ups is, people find it really difficult on their wrists. they find it a bit sore in their wrists, so they're lacking a little bit of wrist flexibility to get into the best press-up position. So this can help with that as well. What we're going to do to sort of mix it up a little bit is we're going to rock right and left and just sort of maybe go round in a circle. That's what we'll do. So as we're going through the middle, the stretch comes off, and then we really focus on that right hand side, go round, focus on that left hand side. And you'll see a lot of gymnasts doing this to help keep that flexibility in their wrist and forearms. And we're coming across and back, it's good. And the lats will shake that out, get the blood flow back through. And then we'll do it single arm, right? So we're going to start with our left. So we've got our left arm there. And I'm just going to use my other hand to help press down on the back of the hand. And then as I push my hips back, I'm going to feel that stretch deeper now through the forearms and through the wrist. Wherever you're tightest, is it down the bottom here, or is it further up near your bicep, near your elbow? And we're just going to go forward and back, keeping that arm nice and straight. Be careful, guys, if you're anyone with hypermobility. I don't want you putting too much strain through that elbow. Okay, so just be aware of your elbow in this position. One more. And then change. Okay, it feels nice once it's done. Shake it out. Other side. We're just using our hand there to help keep us in position. Again, for me, it's always quite a nice stretch to do because it gets a bit gunged up in here, lifting weights. Let's do a couple more. The last one. And rest. Good. Give that a wee shake. So it's a bit different. I haven't stuck that in any of the classes yet. Okay, good. Guys, you've got 2 stretches left. We're going to do a little downward dog now, which is to target mainly the calves, but you might feel it on your hamstrings and your lower back as well. I'm going to start really basic, and then we're going to add in a couple of little things. So from all fours, lift up, big deep breath in, and as we breathe out, hips are up high and the heels are down. And we're holding there. And the key thing that I want you to get with the downward dog is to shoulder press the floor away. So use your hands to push the ground away, to get your hip up, to get your heels back, to get that strength, to get that nice position, right? So rather than being sort of loose on the hands, you're actually pushing the ground away like a shoulder press. And bring it back to the floor. It's good. And big deep breath in, we'll repeat. And back. Hips up nice and high. Arms straight. You want to take your bum up and your heel down. And then you may feel it more calf or hamstring or lower back. And then back to the floor. We'll do 2 more. Chin on chest. I'm not going to do that because I almost start eating the mic. But if you could get your chin on your chest and look through the legs as you're doing that, you're going to get a deeper stretch. And back to the floor. One more. And then back down. We'll do one more on the downward dog, but we're going to reach diagonally across to our ankle with our hand. So we go back up, we take our right hand to our left ankle, Hold there. And change. And change. And again, because you've added a little rotation in there, you're going to feel it somewhere slightly different. With the hand that's on the floor, keep pushing the floor away. I'll do one more each side. Last one. And rest. Good, guys, well done. Right, one more stretch. We're going to be on our feet for this last one. Okay? And we're going to do a little deep squat stretch to finish. Okay? Liam, if your knees are sore and you can't do that, you could finish off here, holding that position. Okay? And we're just using this to open up the groin. So, again, your squat stance. Pull yourself down. Try and grab your toes if you can. And then we're holding the bottom of the squat. It's quite a tricky one to do. You've got to find the balance. You've got to try and keep your posture, keep your chest up without falling back. We're going to hold for about 10-15 seconds and stand up and do that 3 or 4 times. And up. It's good. Shake the legs out. Also, maybe roll the ankles a wee bit. There we go. And then we'll go again. So, squat down. Use your feet to help you. Use your elbows as well. Get them inside the knees. And drive your chest up. And then stand up. Good. Let's do 2 more and then that's us done. So just find this one quite tricky, especially if you've not got trainers on to help sort of keep that balance. With your bare foot it can be quite tricky. Pull down. And hold. Keep driving your chest forward. Use your elbows to push your knees out a little bit. And stand. It's good. We'll do that one more time and then that's us. I think that's 11 stretches actually. I think I chucked in a wee bonus one in there somewhere. Okay, last one, pull down. Oh. Again, pull down and hold. 10 seconds. And then come up. Good. Well done, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that little stretch. Maybe you picked up some ideas as well and found areas of your body that were tighter than you thought. Guys, if you found some of those stretches useful, please give me a bit of feedback and let me know. If you found any of them too tough, also maybe just let me know as well, and I can consider what to put in for future classes. But there's no real structure with this class. You know, all other classes we sort of work to like a program and we keep it going for 3 or 4 weeks. With this class, I change it every week and just try and get creative with it and get you guys learning different things. So a lot of static stuff today, okay? Sometimes we'll do dynamic, sometimes we'll do static. Last week we did a lot of flow-based stuff. I know people like that, but it was just a nice change today to sort of, you know, keep it nice and easy on the floor stretching. Guys, thanks very much and I'll see you soon.